Hi, we're the Tiger Kings, and I'm Catherine Murray. I'm a fourth year RPTA major.
My name is Jordan Morrison. I'm a fourth year EIM major.
My name is Morgan Johansson, and I'm also a fourth year EIM major.
And the background story for our presentation starts with our initial idea that we were considering, which was how the bar industry as a whole in the United States has been affected by COVID-19. The idea eventually evolved into how the sale and consumption of alcohol has been recorded in the country and how the pandemic has affected those sales and consumption rates. Eventually, we decided on analyzing those rates of consumption and sales over the most recent years to use as a reference for pitching to George P. Johnson. And the purpose of our presentation is to show not only this company, but also other potential businesses, to show them where alcohol sales have been before the pandemic, how they're fluctuating during it, and then we'll also show projections for those sales and rates after COVID-19. The dashboard that we created will be used to show that there are valuable insights in alcohol sales and consumption that can be used to efficiently to potentially boost revenues for those businesses. When we were collecting data for our dashboard, we found the data sets on Statista, and this made it easier to compile the data into one report and then pin our different visualizations to the dashboard, since all the data was coming from one source. We played around with various types of charts and graphs until we decided on the ones that we thought would best represent the different variables that we wanted to take into account. Analysis of the data involved us narrowing down what variables we wanted to include and what we thought would be most useful for potential clients to consider when they're planning out their events. Variables such as age and consumption rates, year in revenues, and type of alcohol and sales.
From looking at the dashboard, we are able to see how alcohol consumption revenues were in the past, the present, and the future. In the data sets, you can see 3 types of liquor that are listed, or 4: beer, spirits, cider, and wine. Because of COVID-19, many businesses are struggling with making a profit. So by presenting this presentation to you, JPJ, we are hopefully able to help by presenting this data to allow you to make more money in a responsible way while in a global pandemic and afterwards. In our dashboard, you can see that we have 5 different data sets. The first one shows the growth by years for years 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, and 2014. The second graph, year 2020 revenue, shows the total revenue for beer, wine, spirits, and cider. We can see that beer has made the most revenue out of all the other alcohol during COVID-19, or during 2020. The third graph, buyer growth during COVID-19 in March, shows specifically how much percentage was spent on beer, spirits, and wine. This graph really breaks down to make a good visualization of what alcohol was most popular when the pandemic started. The fourth graph down here, 2021 alcohol revenue shows the projected revenue of alcohol and what type will be the most popular, making the most amount of sales. The final graph, revenue by years, breaks down the revenue for years 2021, 2022, and 2023. This graph is a good way to help JPJ plan for the upcoming years during the pandemic and post-pandemic. A major key insight that we can see from all of the data sets is that we can see nothing but profit. Alcohol sales continue to be rising, especially in the pandemic. Even though bars and restaurants are limited in services, individuals are currently continuing to stock up on alcohol at home during these unpredictable times. This is good for JPJ since alcohol sales have not had a drastic drop in sales. The past year has shown nothing but profit, and the future will be just the same and even more profitable. Another key insight is that all of the data is presented in millions, except for buyer growth during COVID-19 dataset, which is presented in percentages. Another key insight is that JPJ should take into consideration is that beer is a major customer favorite, which can be seen in all of the data sets. I would recommend JPJ take that into consideration, that beer has proven to be very successful and has shown to make the biggest profit within these types of alcohols.
The purpose of this presentation is to show George P. Johnson that we are in fact the right agency and the right partner to partner in this endeavor to sell alcohol at their events. We know that COVID-19 has affected in-person events and we have gathered key insights for alcohol consumption before, during, and after the pandemic so that George P. Johnson can make more informed decisions. These insights will bring huge opportunities for George P. Johnson to better understand how to maximize profits with alcohol sales at their events. As a group, we collectively decided that we were really interested to see what data we could find concerning alcohol sales, and we knew that these key insights could help to make more profitable events for George P. Johnson. We found data sets that provided valuable timeline information about alcohol over the past few years and estimates for what the alcohol sales will look like in the years to come. We collected this data over the past few months, and it was strategically organized in an efficient dashboard to help convey our value propositions in the partnership with George P. Johnson. With this presentation being delivered to key executives, we're confident that they will appreciate the data and how applicable it is in a time like this. The data includes major categories such as year, alcohol type, and revenue. All of these factors were chosen by our group because we believe that they are some of the most important metrics that will be evaluated in the decision-making process. George P. Johnson is one of, if not the largest experiential marketing companies, world-renowned, and our specific ask is to be the partner agency for alcohol sales in the United States. Our agency can provide data and logistics for George P. Johnson, and we can be the vendor for alcohol sales at all of George P. Johnson events in the United States. In this partnership, we ask for 20% of net profits in alcohol sales at George P. Johnson events in the United States. The reason we ask for 20% of net profit sales is because we want to prove our mettle, so to speak. In short, we will handle all aspects of selling alcohol at any and all events hosted by George P. Johnson, and we'll be paid directly off of the success of our goals and directly off the success of what we produce for George P. Johnson, which we know could be huge and will be profitable. We really appreciate all of your time. Thank you so much for checking out this dashboard. We look forward to partnering with you soon. Thanks. Is that it?